Hey everybody, it's Tom from Target Prime Rib. How you doing? How are all my riblets doing today? I see that we have Sandy, Bacon Baby, and Granny Boo in the chats right now. I'm sure there's other people here, but right now that's who we have in the chats. I'm not sure what I'm going to really be talking about today. I just figured that you guys haven't seen me in a couple days on my chat on my live, so I figure I would put something out there. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask them. I'll try to catch them as quick as best as I can. You know me. I think if we keep on going with me, I think that I probably will need a moderator eventually that can help me catch the chats. Um, Maybe one or two of them, but unfortunately I can't pay anybody. And then, hey Terry Sue, how you doing? Um, I mean, the only thing I can pay is basically my gratitude. Thank you. Uh, so um, I saw Dr. Kilt today, and I thought it was a pretty good show. I always think Dr. Kilt is a pretty good show. Most of the guests are pretty good. Sometimes they don't have anything to do with what I'm doing, but Julia, yeah, you're not using your carnivore eatings thing. Hello, Julia, and I want to thank you too, Juliet, for giving me such a great compliment with Mitch today. I do appreciate it. Um, that's something I kind of want. The topic I do want to talk about a little bit is I don't know much about the GLP ones. I never did, and um, I sorry, I'm a little groggy today, so I apologize to anybody. So I'll do my best. But uh, I I wasn't, like I was taking Victoza, and I didn't know Victoza was GLP-1. I had no idea until somebody told me, and I found out later on. But it was such a, like the grandmother of Ozempic, basically. So, and I was afraid to just wean. I was afraid to just take off it. So I was weaning myself off it, just like any other stuff, including the insulin. But when it was recommended that I switch to Manjaro, that Manjaro was a better medication. I I really didn't know what to think. So I listened to the advice, and I think it came from a good. I think the advice comes from a good heart. I really do, and I hope I don't offend anybody. But like I just wanted to get Mitch's opinion on it, and it kind of makes me a little bit more nervous because I'm already taking it based on the advice I got from the other people, and I And the thing is ever since I started taking it 3 days ago, and I know it's only 3 days, but so far my sugars when I wake up have been a lot higher, and they're getting, even when I take insulin, they're getting harder to bring down. Now yesterday was a little promising because yesterday they went down pretty low, um, but so I'm not sure what to take on it. I'm not going to give up on it because I trust um, the people that gave me the advice to take it. But I also worry now even more because of what Mitch said. So, just a little scared, So, um, I mean, I guess I'll stick with it and hope and pray that, I know sometimes things take time, but the problem is I'm having is if with it making my sugars go up, especially in the morning, like right now it's gone down and my sugar's at 155, you know. So, I mean, was yesterday just a fluke? And yes, I did have to take some insulin today in order to get down to 155. Um, I saw it, Juliet. I watched the replay real quick, and I also, you know, I, I was able to catch it. Yeah, not, and I get that with, that's probably the case with me too. But, and and I'll be honest with you, if Mitch knew who actually gave me the advice to have it, I think he would, he would have thought a little, he would have thought twice about, um, so I don't know, I mean, the questions I have that are probably been answered, but I just probably can't really fully understand it, is what makes Manjaro different than the Ozempic and the Victoza and all that stuff? Because they're all GLP-1s. So what makes that particular different? Is it because it takes a week it's in your system for 5 days, so you don't have to take it every day? Is there something else involved in it? Like, what about it makes it such a promising thing? Okay. See, I don't really even know about peptides too much. I mean, maybe I should learn a little bit more about it. I mean, my main goal, I mean, this is why it makes me nervous, okay? And tell me if this is, maybe for once, maybe I'm not being logical. It makes me nervous because of my sugars going higher. My goal is to lower my A1C. So that means lowering my sugar. So whenever something makes my sugars go higher than usual, and it's like around that time frame, well, then I get a little nervous, you know. So, so Terry Sue says, okay. I hear you, Thomas. Thank you, Terry Sue. I appreciate that. We all, we all desire to be heard, right? I did my own research on the leucine supplement, sorry, and found out that it's not great for melanoma patients. So now I'm just going to feed it to my husband. What I'm trying to think of. Okay, you know, and Juliet kind of follows through with creatine is great, Terry Sue, very innocuous. I think it helps my memory. All right, that's cool. So you think it helps you like just to recall things and stuff like that? Today I'm like really, I don't know why I am so tired. You know, a lot of things are going on. I mean, every as much as things are going on though, keep in mind that I still feel that there's great things going on too. So don't think that don't think it's all bad or anything like that. My sugars, like now they're at 159. So I did take again. I took some insulin. I did take some insulin. I haven't I haven't taken the Victoza because I'm under the impression that you shouldn't be taking both. You shouldn't be taking two different G, G, GLP-1s. If I got the initials wrong, I apologize. That's how much I don't know really about. I just took the advice basically. So you went back to sleep right after Mitch? So that wasn't too long ago. Unless you just meant like after you started. I don't know, Terry Sue. You know? So I'm gonna just go scroll up and see if I missed anything. Now keep in mind, I value both people that gave me the advice immensely. But I also value Mitch too. And it was two different advices. Oh, there is a question. I saw Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q Q. Oh, maybe I did. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let's get me out of there. All right. I just heard myself. I just started talking. Well, maybe I thought I saw something. All right. Well, that's fine. I thought I saw Q Q Q, but I guess I didn't. Well, I mean, anybody wants to ask me questions. I mean, well, it's actually good practice for me to, you know, I mean, any kind of questions that I may be able to answer. If I can't answer them, then I'll be honest. But yeah, I really don't know, Terry Sue. I actually do my own laundry, so I do have to admit though I like my laundromat because well, there's a good thing and a bad thing. I like my laundromat because I actually have an app on my phone called DextraPay, and it's with the laundromat. And instead of putting all those quarters in and everything like that, I pay with my credit card, and I just have the app in. I do the machine and everything like that. So to each laundromat, and now the only bad thing about it is, but they put it back in like a couple days later. Is they actually take out a full $20 to do my laundry. All right, so Juliet says, Dr. Kilt's practice, Thomas, what is the one thing that humans make the same as cats? I don't know the answer. My fear is Kilt's question during my 9 to 5 interview will be like hell if I know. Yeah. um, yeah, I'm a little nervous too. Like I'm actually supposed to. Yeah, I know you're in the coaching course with me, Juliet, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm learning more than I knew, but I still feel like I don't know. I still don't know enough to do anything. I just know enough to maybe get by simply, but I'm just not as smart as a lot of people. Um, so your interview is September 5th. Yeah, mine is September 19th. So um, I'll be following right behind you a couple weeks later. So and, and Terry Sue says, "My husband doesn't know how to turn on the washer. I'm the old school wife who does every damn thing most of the time. Don't hate it, but hard to get a break with unskilled husband." Yeah. Um, no comment on that one. Like, you know why? Defer to Thomas if Kills asks me a question, please. I Yeah, I'm putting that as the thing. I'm sorry, Juliet. Sorry. Um, I don't know if that. I'd have to think of like a good catchphrase for anything he asks. I mean, I guess we have enough time, so maybe if we read Bosinger's Cats, maybe that would help. Because 90% of the time he talks about Bosinger's Cats. You know, like if I didn't know any better, I would have thought that he wrote the book. Okay, now that's kind of weird because isn't it like kind of like protocol for husbands to be able to take out the garbage? I mean, like, don't they have to sign off on that when you guys get married and stuff? No, I'm just joking. Just joking, Granny Boo. If you're talking about me, Terry Sue, yes, I do garbage and I do dishes. I try to keep this place as clean as possible. Good morning, Aaron. How are we doing? Congratulations on your 1,800 subscribers, soon to be 2,000. I predict it's going to be 2,000 by September. If not, then not soon after. And Gary is here in the chats. Hello, Gary. You're watching this on the big screen, Gary? That's kind of scary. Now, I think you're a rock star. I really do, Aaron. I think you're going to. Um, I mean, definitely, you're definitely a lot better than I am. So I think you're going to definitely make it. I'm sure there's a way, Juliet, to change your name on the computer. Hello, Lisa. There's Bacon Baby again. Hello, Bacon Baby. Everybody's saying hello to each other in the chats, which is pretty nice. Thank you, Juliet. I appreciate that. Hello, Papa. How you doing? Got a lot of people joining me now, which is pretty nice. So again, if anybody has any questions to ask, let me hide the thing here. You found a Butter Woman superhero costume that was discounted for $12. You have a costume out for Halloween? Hello, Smoothie. How you doing? No, I actually saw Papa Carnivore. That's why that's why I said to you in the chat that now I'm even more nervous. Because I'm actually taking it through the advice of a couple of some people in the carnivore community. Believe it or not. Yeah, I like. Well, I don't want to get the Butter Woman costume. That would be kind of weird. But you know, but Halloween is coming up soon, so that Butter Woman is a spoiled chick. Okay. I think it's coming from overseas. It will be here till September. Well, then what good is it for Halloween if it's there until September? Yeah, that makes no sense. Halloween is your birthday? Wow. That is true. I don't do commercials, and neither does I don't think Amy does either. But you guys work a little bit more on your superhero. If it wasn't for Amy, I wouldn't have anything out there. And speaking of Amy, hey Amy, how you doing? Every year, LOL. Yeah, I sometimes I feel bad for the people that actually like celebrate on a certain holiday, their birthday, because it's like, okay, now I'm not. Are you really getting that separate, you know, celebration, so to speak? You know, it's were they burning? So I'm hoping that you and Aaron are both feeling better than you were. I'll let Smoothie answer that question, Bacon Baby. I know you've been advertising it, Amy. Um, so anybody, you know, Amy does it. You saw. I mean, she made me look pretty good, which is pretty hard to do. So, uh, you know, if you're interested in becoming a superhero, Amy's the one who can do the magic for you. Yeah, I, you're probably right, Gary. That'd be good. You know, like all you have to do, Lisa, is send Amy your a, a headshot of yourself. If you can do it without a hat or anything. I did. I actually did have my hat on. Um, I actually did have this hat on when I had the picture. But if you think about it, though, the hat is really, is really a part of me. That particular hat. I am switching over to new hats and stuff like that. But for the persona of Target Prime Rib, um, the hat is me. So, yeah, yeah. I think she started fully. Juliet. Lexi's. If anybody else knows for sure, I haven't really. I talked to her a little bit, but not really a lot. So, yeah. Uh, and Terry Sue says those superhero skits are so darn cute. Need to put a still on their fridge to remind yourself of that perfect physique. You're talking about the ladies? I agree. We are Siamese, if you please. We are Siamese, if you don't please. So, okay. Mm. So, so a little confession here. I cheated today. Um, around, I had a little craving for some fat, but I didn't have any butter or anything like that. I wasn't going to take a spoonful of lard um, or ghee. I guess ghee would have been okay. But on my fast day, where I'm not supposed to be eating anything, I had 3 eggs soaked in bacon grease. So, and I don't know if this would count either as a cheat, but I did try. I was like, you know what? I don't have any cream. I don't have any. So I'm going to take some bacon grease, and I took that and I put. No, I ran out of the tallow, so I only have the lard. And I mean, I actually was going to get tallow, but when I looked at the price, for a 4 pound bucket of tallow, it was $35. And then that's why I kind of asked the question about, and Mitch gave me a pretty good answer, you know, which doesn't make me lie, and I admit that, but I asked him about like how's he, like if he thought lard would be okay, and he seemed to be okay with that. So I mean, I try taking advice. I do take advice from people, so I hope no one thinks I don't. Okay, yeah, I would be shocked by that too, Juliet. Let me put that in the chats real quick. So, yeah, so I mean, tallow was $35 for a 4 pound, and for the same amount, lard was only $9. So it's just with my pocketbook, my wallet, whatever you want to call it, you know, it just made more sense to get the lard. Especially if I'm trying to save some money. And I was able to get another steak in place of that. So I watched Dr. Lisa's video this morning. She's gone super low fat, like egg whites and egg white wraps, but with lean meats, tuna. A little surprised at the change of direction. No judgment, but kind of shocked. Yeah, that shocks me too. That doesn't, you know. Okay, so yeah, you're probably right, Terry. So I think that's what Mitch said too, that pork is a lot cheaper. And I mean, I like pork. I just don't get that much of it. But it just made sense to cook with the lard. It's so much. It just, if I can afford the $35 or so or whatever, then I'll get some beef tallow, or I'll figure out how to do the beef trimming thing. I did save some lamb fat, but I just used it all up, which came out really good. And I think that helped quite a bit. And I probably will bring back the butter. I do love my butter. I really do. I just was getting a little tired of making the trips to the bathroom all the time. Um, but I mean, you've seen my butter coffee with a whole stick of butter and everything like that. So I just need to, I think butter in a way is like sort of an addiction to. I think that's actually a really addiction to for me. Even probably more than the candies and stuff like that at this point. Okay, so you got some tofu chicken. There's ingredients in them that. Bring it up. Okay, so I got some Topo Chico waters the other day. They are good, but do have some ingredients the others don't have. That's interesting. And the only reason why I got Topo Chico, I know a few people in here don't really like Topo Chico for where they come from and everything like that. Don't get Gary going again. Okay, I'll try not to. um, is I it was referenced not directly to me, but it was mentioned a few times by Carrie and Papa. Both seem to have Topo Chico and a few other people, So I was like, hey, why not? I'll try it. And when I tried it, I liked it. Hey, whatever you wanna do, Terry Sue. For like I said, for some reason I don't know why I'm so tired. I had pretty good sleep. I went to bed around what time? Around 9:30, and well, I woke up naturally at around 3:45, almost 4 o'clock. No alarm clock or anything like that. And I usually set my alarm for 4:30, because it gives me enough because of the concept of the days I work at till 6. So, and the other days I don't work, I try to go into with kilts. So I wake up early enough for me to be able to take a shower and all that stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. Uh, I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, I hope that's the case. And luckily for me, um, I'm not working today. I'm not working. I don't. I'm not scheduled until like the 12th. So, just fine. I'm scheduled for. Right now, he scheduled me 3 days a week. It seems to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday is the days he's scheduling me. So, the week actually start ends on Friday and starts on Saturday. So So I'm thinking of asking him if he could put me on another day, because then I have 16 hours that I can work with. And I don't want to increase my hours until I know for sure that I can work a 16-hour week. And hello, Terrific. There you are. Okay. Stop by and say hi. Well, hello. Which, don't worry about me working on the 13th, because I work from 6 to 10 in the morning. So I should be able to do all the things that need to be done um, in the afternoon. And that includes um, the my next interview, which will be on the 13th. A little bit of a change on my itinerary. Usually I do them on Tuesdays, but this particular one I have to do on Wednesday because I'm part of that coaching course with Dr. Nelson and Dr. Kill's coaching course. And I know, like I said, there's one person in here that's in the course with me, and for some reason, Dr. Nelson has switched his thing from uh, Wednesdays to Tuesday for this particular week. And there's Terry from My Terrific Life, actually waving to Terry Sue, Booby Goats, and Carnivore Whisperer. How cute. So I'm going to actually try to wake myself up a little bit. I don't know if this will do anything, but I'm going to put my link into the chat. If anybody wants to come on, say hello to from the inside to any of the guests. More than welcome to do so. Um, I actually pinned, because I was testing things out. I'm not obligating anybody, but I did pin my Buy Me a Coffee link to the top. So I'm going to actually test something out. Just give me a couple seconds. So, this is fun, right? Let's see where my. Well, you still haven't gone down too much. Go live. I'm going to just go over here real quick. CB has just joined us. Hey, CB, how you doing today? You replaced the sugar in the hummingbird feeder with butter. Are they responding a lot better with that? Okay, so now I'm back on my YouTube channel, just waiting for things to. Oh no, don't give me a hard time. Can you stop that? Sorry about that. All right, so I did what I wanted to do. So So anybody that wants to come on? All right. I didn't realize you had left. So you see how it helps when you can't see anything. Oh shoot! I forgot to. I'm sorry, Bacon Baby. I keep on forgetting that it becomes kind of loud. So I do apologize on that. I should have muted myself. And I just saw somebody say hello, Rick. So does that mean Charger Mopar's in here? And I didn't see it because I was in the other screen for a second. Hello, Rick. How are you doing? So I put it. I put on the top of the chats. I put. Oh, there you are, Rick. Well, you know you do, Rick. Just come along with it. Mm. I thought I signed up for it, but I guess I didn't. I don't know. I have to make sure I have the WhatsApp in my phone. Let me see. What's up? What's up? Oh, what's up? Yeah, I do have WhatsApp. Okay, so um, done. Okay, settings. It keeps on making me do settings. I'm not sure. I think that's what the problem is. I kept on having an issue with the setting part of it. Hmm, Not now. Not now. All right. So I really don't care about that anymore. So I'm trying to get hooked up to it, Juliet. But yeah, I mean the only issue that I have with WhatsApp is I was hooked up with it with my job when I was in Neptune, and every single time, um, something about super chats. All right, is somebody asking a question about super chats? All right, so Rocking Keto Amy says to Juliet, Juliet, Thomas and I are not monetized yet, so we can't accept super chats. Have to do buy me a coffee or Venmo or something. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, so what I was saying was, okay, so Juliet, this is probably where Amy answered the question. So you don't have a super chat unless it's this new computer once a month. I try to give a little to those that work so hard for us to say thank you. Well, I appreciate that, Juliet. Hubby gives to the church. I give back to YouTube. I do appreciate that, Juliet. I actually do have the Buy Me a Coffee link in my channel. So, you know, so I mean, that's one way to give back, but I'm not requiring any generosity is gratefully accept is gratefully. I don't even know what the words are. Appreciated, you know. So I'm just trying to. Um, so this is going to be interesting. Let's see if that for some reason didn't stick with it. I don't know why. Well, just got a quick message. I'll have to see what that's about. But supposedly the FDA is calling back butter. Not sure which brands or anything like that. It didn't really go that deep into the thing, but so you've been pretty exhausted too, Amy? Like right now, I'm like super tired. I'm having like, such a hard time even keep my eyes open. Well, that's good. It's working on your new PC there, Juliet. Yeah, I'll try to. There's something. There's just something with my phone that's just. Let me see if I get rid of. I really don't need to have that one. Hmm. I'm not sure why it's not letting me do. So I forget. Wasn't there something that you sent or something like that to be able to do the WhatsApp? I'll look in my emails and see if there was something either from you, Juliet, or from somebody to be able to do the or was it from Stephanie? Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember. You know, it's kind of funny too. George, George Goodenough, was asking me when I'm going to be on the Sunday school with him, and he asked for my email for us to figure out when, and which is kind of weird because I would have thought that they would have emailed me back, maybe not with a date, but just with a confirmation that they got my email, and never got never got a response back. Oh, I can't wait for the Amy. I can't wait for the interview with you either. I mean, I think it's fair to say I can't really wait for the interview with any of you, but definitely, Amy, you're definitely. Now, I might have right now. My last interview was going to be, um, or at least my last interview with the consecutive would have been. Yeah, that's true, Terry Sue. I mean, my Terry. Sorry, wrong Terry. There's a lot of Terrys out there. There's three in my group alone. um, but Lisa, Carnivore Whisperer, is going to be my last interview before waiting a couple months. But I did talk to Helen, and she's going to actually talk to a couple of people that she thinks would love to be interviewed. So I might be able to do a couple in November. Yeah. The only one I'm a little concerned about, and I'll still do everything, is not this one, not with Adam. Adam is, and actually both, all the people are great. But I have a really cool interview that's going to be happening next week, the following week on the 20th, with Tim from Walker to Walking, which he was on. He actually was interviewed by Dave Mack and I think one or two other people. And I knew him from SB. I know him from SVG. He hasn't been there in quite a while, so I don't think he's there. Yeah, I don't think he's part of the club anymore. But I'm a little worried because I did. I was hoping to be able to change it from the 20th to the 19th, but when I emailed him a couple times, he never responded back to me. And I sent him a few emails on it. And if you're listening, Tim, I hope that you hear this. We can still do the 20th. I was just hoping on the 19th because of the coaching course I'm taking with Dr. Nelson. Um, the 20th, the 19th would have been easier. But it was already prearranged before because originally I did have Wednesday interviews, but then I changed them. But like I said, Tim was the only one that hasn't responded yet. So I will do on the 20th. But the thing is, with no response of whether or not he is, it sort of makes me a little nervous. Like I said, I'll put it out there and everything like that, and then whatever happens, happens. But I do hope that he is able to come and do, because I think that he would have a great story as well. Um, See you, Juliet. Um, yeah, uh, yeah, I'm a little mental myself there, Lisa. Um, I agree with Terry Sue, who isn't, And again, I pinned to the chat. I pinned on the top there. I pinned. Thank you, Amy. I couldn't have said any better than myself. Oh, thank you. Are you doing a live, Terry? I'm gonna mute myself for a second. That's pretty cool, Rick. So you think you got the problem solved? If anybody wants to come on here and say hello, more than welcome. I pinned it to the top. If not, I'll probably end soon because you would know more about what that is, Rick. But that's cool. Oh, so you do for the whole month of August. Okay. Hey Bob, how you doing? Hello, Kurt. Mm. Oh, you're looking to add a third camera. Okay, that's pretty cool. I know you have one. Where were you thinking about putting it? Yeah, you're pretty creative there, Rick. You really are. uh, no, that's okay. Okay. Well, is Milton helping you with all this, or is he just like sitting there, just watching you and telling you what to do? Typical backseat driver, right? He helps you organize your cables. Yeah, no, and Mitch knows a lot about that kind of stuff, so that's pretty cool. Now, I was excited to hear um, you and Mitch talking yesterday about you going to his, meeting up with him and doing an actual live together, person to person. So that I that I like to see, and I think that'd be really cool, Rick. I really do. So if that happens, definitely, you definitely don't want to miss that. Yeah, that I'm sure. I'm sure that'd be a really good show. A really good show. Yes. Um, and if you're going to start off with somebody, Rick, Mitch is the person to start it off with. So yeah, so I think I might go for a walk after this. I'm not sure. I'm like really low in energy, so I don't know how far I'm going to get. But maybe it would help bring my sugars down. Right, they're still it's still at like 151, but I don't really want to take anything to lower them down. And today, like I said, I did have the eggs, but I'm gonna probably not have anything today because tomorrow's my actual feast day for my ADF. So hopefully I just have the eggs and that's it. Yeah, I'm very drained actually, Kurt. Very tired. I remember there was a time when I used to just ride in the rain. I didn't care. Yeah, but um, with my foot, it's not really good for me to get my shoe wet, because if I get my shoe wet and it you know, goes to the insert and that gets wet, the insert takes a lot longer to dry. So I'm like days without anything for my feet. It's going to be starting three shifts actually soon, and going into four. So yeah, I'm not really tired in the way of like being exhausted from working. It's more like just like the Sandman is putting a little extra sand in my eyes. I mean, I actually love like I said, I worry about my shoe smoothie, but I actually do like it when I'm in the rain. I feels good, especially on a really hot day and the cold rain is falling on top of you. You know. Now, I've also been caught in hailstorms, and I don't really like that too much. But it's all meaning. Oh yeah, no, I'm not doing the night shifts anymore. I work from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. now. I work 3 days, 4 hours a day. Yeah, the night shift is done with. I He seems to not really like it. Like he asked the one other assistant manager asked me to work overnight, and he was like, "No, we're not. I don't like think that would be good for you to work overnight." So he seems to be a little bit more on top of caring about my well being, which is good. Good. Oh my god! But for whatever reason, I'm like I actually went to bed around 9:30 last night. Around 9:30, 9:35. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. I am slowly integrating with the Ticket to Work program, but even like I have a counselor now, and he's giving me the advice and everything like that, and he agrees that to keep on healing and all that stuff. And he said when we're ready, then we'll start the program fully. But at least I have the counselor to work with. Yeah, Gary did a pretty good interview, Amy. I agree. I know in the beginning Gary thought that he was didn't have anything really to contribute, but I think Gary contributed a lot. You know, and if anybody wants to, you know, add on to what Amy just said and what I just said, you know, feel free to give Gary some encouragement. Yeah. See, Bacon Baby says the same thing. And I know Sandy loved you, Gary, and so did Terry Sue. So you got a lot of people that actually liked your interview. So kudos, thank you, and thank you because if it wasn't, you know, I it's all the great interviews that gives me good content. This doesn't really. This is great, but this is just me talking. And not to be mean, but I know I wouldn't want to see me talking all the time. But when I have interviews, then it's like, okay, we're going to see this person, you know. So everybody's all, uh, Rick, um, yes, um, Gary was the longest interview I've had so far, but I know that when you come on, when you finally want to do the interview, you will break that record. I already know it. Well, yeah, no, we all do. I mean, but we sort of know each other, everybody's life story, but doesn't mean that we shouldn't have it on there, right? Well, you have you have a 2 hour, like I give 2 hours. Sometimes it can go over, sometimes it can go under, but don't cut your life story too much there, Rick. We'll set the date, and that will be. Yeah, no, I remember in the chat she was saying about how you and him were very similar, so I can see why you would. Well, that's cool. So, Gary, if you're here, that's just let you know Terry Sue would ride on a Harley with you if you rode up onto her driveway. So, hey, you never know. Maybe now that you put that out there, maybe Gary will ride up to the. You see, there's Gary right there. He's saying just a few. He'll be there shortly. See there? What's Mitch say? If you don't ask, you never get. Let me put this in the chats. And I, no slow, not sure if you saw my comment the other day, but my favorite car I owned was a 1990 Turbo Eagle Talon. Pewter color, 5 speed. I met my husband driving that car. LOL. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. And he did see it, Amy. He did see it. So just a reminder. Um, I did put a link in the chats if anybody wants to in the YouTube chats. I pinned it at the top, so if you want to come on here and just say hello, as always, um, feel free. Right. I replaced it with the Buy Me a Coffee link, which I took out. Because that one I was actually testing, because what I did was maybe a little different is I actually copied the link and then I put it right in actually worked. So that's fine, Amy. I mean, you guys aren't obligated to come on. I just put it out there. Just put it out there. So those, hopefully the two gentlemen that Helen from All for Jesus Carnivore is that she said that she has a couple of people that she knows that would be great interviews. So she's going to talk to them, and hopefully they'll come on. It will extend a little bit more. I already have my last person is going to be October 28th. Right now, my last person is going to be October 28th with Lisa, Carnivore Whisper. Um, but if I can't get any more people, I do have a person for January 1st for Gen Man, but that's a pretty extensive time to not have anybody. So I might have to stop these lives because if I can't get any more people, it's um, that will probably be it. So that's you know that's the way it is. I just can't really seem to get too many. So I'm grateful for the people that are willing, and I'm hearing a lot of noise behind me or on the side of me. I think my roommate's blasting his TV for whatever reason. Maybe it's a deaf thing or something. I don't think I'm being very loud. I'm always into 12 o'clock, so um, I don't know. I doubt he'll see this anyway. So um, all right. Well, there's a wall in between, so that's probably why you can't hear anything. I hear it, but yeah, it's probably too far away for you guys to hear it. So I mean, technically, there's like a wall and then a closet. So, oh my god, excuse me. Sorry, guys. No, I'm just looking at the chats and everything. Uh, Not really going much on now. Um, I am still fasting. Unfortunately, I did cheat a little bit today, Amy. I actually had 3 eggs early this morning. For whatever reason, I just craved something, and eggs seem to be the simplest thing to have and make. So sometimes you still have cravings even when you're on fast day. Um, so I'm not having anything else today. That would be the only meal I have is 3 eggs with extra bacon grease. So, and Terry Sue is wondering why um, we can't get any more peeps in here. So I'm not sure what that refers to, but um, probably because I'm just so Terry. Yeah, maybe they're playing for the weekend madness. You know. Yeah, and I'm going right back. Like I did the eggs. And I had a couple. I had some coffee too. Matter of fact, I had for the first time ever, I had. I was going to say a hard boiled egg, but I didn't have a hard boiled egg. I had an egg yolk in my coffee, along with some bacon grease. So I did make that for sure. Do you ever really plan your how long you're going to be for, Rick, or does it just come naturally and you just roll with the dice? It was okay. I mean, I was very careful not to get any egg white in it because I thought that would be a problem. Um, and what I did was I took the egg yolk, did the egg thing with like you kind of cradle until you get all the white out, and then I put that into the coffee. I put that into a cup, and then I added the bacon grease, about this much bacon grease, so a lot of bacon grease, and put it inside that mug that you guys seen, the money mug. And then I took the blender and blended that without the coffee, and then I slowly added the coffee. I did myself a cup of coffee, and I slowly poured the coffee separately into there while blending it, so that it would prevent it from curdling or anything like that. Because that was my biggest fear, is the curdling. I'm not up to Aaron's standards of 3 egg yolks, but eventually maybe I'll get up to that. I don't know if it's something I'd want to do every day, um, because I like eating my eggs, and I can't really afford that many eggs to, I don't want them to run out sooner than expected. So, um, but I think what I want to probably do is when I get paid again, I want to get the butter that I was getting, and I think that worked out a lot better. I just got to figure out how to make it where I don't use the porcelain throne as much. But I don't think that's really something that I can prevent. Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, I think it is a pretty nice treat. And there's a lot of things that I do want to learn how to do. I just don't do it because I just don't have really the patience. But every once in a while, those patients do go in, and so things like one of the things I like to do is I like to try Bella's carnivore cheesecake. Um, I like the idea that there's a carnivore crust and everything to go with it. Yeah, you're probably right there. So, matter of fact, that's show worthy. We were meant to eat raw eggs, probably, till someone cooked one and it became a game changer, just like raw meat. Yeah, I agree. And Meathead is saying any of those. Yay, I started something good for once. Okay. I mean, we all have our moments, right? Right, Kurt? We're the only species that does, Terrasu. We're always changing things around and everything. So, mm-mm. So I hear my roommate kind of choking a little bit. I made him breakfast. I made him. He like he likes his bacon really cooked. um, and I'm wondering if the bacon is a little too cooked for him. You know. So he's probably going. If I went out there right now, he'll probably be like getting mad at me because the thing is, I'm giving you what you requested. You don't like. I like my bacon with the grease and everything. And he's like, oh, it's too greasy. You pat it down for what are you gonna do? Which is why I know that he would never be carnivore because somebody that doesn't want the bacon grease is to me isn't really carnivore. What are you gonna do? You know. Um, no, he's a good person. He just um, I don't know. I don't know. Air fryer, believe it or not. And like I said, he wants it really crisp. So I cook it at about 400 for about 20-25 minutes, and it comes out the way he wants it. To me, it's a little long. For me, I lower it down to about 380, and I cook it for closer to 20 minutes in the air fryer, 15 to 20 minutes depending. But I take a look at it in 15, and if I feel I need to cook it more, then I'll cook it an extra 5 minutes. Yeah, I didn't today. I didn't do the butter because I ran out of the butter. So, Amy, but I um, I um, definitely will get some butter, and I'll do that. I'll do it again. Um, okay, so Amy is asking, what is everyone's thought on rotisserie chickens from Sam's and Costco's? My husband left some, and he is out of town, and I don't want to waste it. Party at my house this weekend. LOL. I have no problems with with the chicken. I'm sure there's something in it that is probably no good, but I mean, unless you're if you're not super strict, then you can have some of the spices and stuff like that. Then you know, then I think that that should be fine. Oh, it's cooked in seed oils. Okay, well, um, again, I don't like seed oils, and so I don't really go. I don't really go to Costco or Sam's Club. Without having a car, it's a little hard, and their delivery system is just not that great. So, different ones have different rules. You guys probably know more about that than I do, but it seems like they don't deliver if you don't have if it's not big enough order or something like that. It's just um, and CB just chimed in and just hello Lewis, how are you doing? I didn't want to make you think that I didn't notice you. Of course I did, but CB And CB answers Amy's question. With Amy, I get them from time to time, but heard Mitch say on a video that Sam's Chicken has seed oils. And I'm going to guess that if Sam's Chicken has seed oils, then um, Costco has seed oils. I'm going to put that dollars to donuts on that one. I could be wrong, but I figure it's a pretty good shot. Um, I'm not sure how that would work. Yeah, they're not actually fried, so you know, I mean, I would do the research and find out, like, because you have a good point. They're rotisserie chicken, so it's not like they're being soaked in the stuff. Seasoned maybe, but you know, you ask a good question, but yeah, I mean, see, I don't really like to do seed oils. If I can avoid them, I try to avoid them. All right, Gary. These solutions are injected to improve moisture and flavor, and while some stores might use olive oil or other options, it's common to find soybean or canola oil, both of which are seed oils. Yes. Yeah, I think if we're not sure, Amy, I think that's the best bet. I don't, like I said, um, I don't really do Sam's Club that much, and I probably wouldn't be doing their chicken anyway. It's one of the reasons, like the pizza place I go to, the only thing I ever get is stuff like that would be from a sub, make it into like a sub in a tub, basically, where I get roast beef, I get, and that's probably the extent I do. I don't do pizza anymore. I don't do the chicken wings. I don't do, even if they're plain chicken wings with nothing on them, I really don't, because I know they're soaked in the seed oils. I don't get the meatballs because I know the meatballs actually have seed oils in them. I, so I try to avoid as much as I can, possibly. Sometimes do they pop up? Yes, but if I had suspect something, then I will probably avoid it. I wouldn't know anything about relationships or anything like that. So hey Dustin, how we doing? Just a reminder, if anybody wants to come on and say hello, um, it is hooked to the chats above. You like how I said it? Above. Showing my canine teeth. So you doing something with Dustin, CB? Oh, okay. That was pretty expensive though, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I don't think I could have afforded it even if I wanted. Not that I don't like Dr. Barry. Dr. Barry is actually one of the first people I started watching. I mean, I've watched people before him, but he's really one of the ones that really got me considering this. Yeah, that'd be a good video short. I agree with that, CV. Of just so you guys know, which you guys probably do know, but let's see. I think a golf club would work. YouTube video playing pool with meatballs. Okay. Um, I'd have to look. I'd have to look for it, but I'll unmute myself. I only did that because I know it makes a lot of noise. And then share the screen. Okay. Oh, that wasn't the right thing. So sorry about that. Showing the wrong. Okay, so this one is share. All right, and we're going to put that onto the screen. That'll it out. The only thing I don't really know though is how to get this. Oh, probably help if I actually unmuted it. Working? Please change that. Another one. Sorry about that. You need iron. Okay. All right.
I can't breathe. My eyes are burning and I'm down on my
Hey, Amber,
knees.
how you
I'll
doing?
finally say that I've been running
We're
from
going
wolves
on.
right in
We'll
front of me.
definitely
I can't feel.
with.
I'm just a memory of what I used to be.
All right, so I'm gonna.
I'm on the way towards a better day. I may be powerless, but I'm finally awake.
So that was the two videos that I had gotten. I'm not really sure how to get rid of the connection, but there we go. Yeah, that was pretty creative of um, Amy to do that. Torn a little bit at the bottom. The dynamo when it comes to things like that. You know, it definitely fit everything, and So I mean, if any of you guys are interested in becoming a superhero, Amy's the one that's going to do it for you. So definitely send her your headshot, and she'll, and probably, I mean, I probably would also send like a little bit of a concept, like what your name is going to be and stuff like that. So then that way she can come up with something that fits what you're looking for. You know, so. But definitely, and Amy, not everybody here has your email information or anything like that. You type in the chats, and that way they can copy it down. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, I like, I know Papa was against what I said, but I know it also made Rick snicker a little bit. But like because we're so used to the Duck Man, I get that, But I also thought the Iguaninator was kind of funny too. It was kind of cool. So I'm gonna stick to my guns with that one. And that's, I mean, Amy, it's one of the reasons why I don't really do too much with the AI and stuff like that, because in order to do really good stuff, you have to pay into it. So I get that. There was one that I wanted to do that I thought would be cool. Especially like when I get people on here, it's more than just me, is to kind of do like a short with me doing the interviews, but having it be, I know it sounds corny, and Carrie's already done it and everything like that, but I thought it'd be kind of cool, especially with my beard and my American hat, um, to do the baby things of us as babies, and Heart Attack Man. Yeah, they're all good. They're all good. So my sugars are going down. They're still not low enough for my taste. but they are going down. And the funny thing is I'm starting to get less and less tired. So I'm wondering if the higher blood sugar has something to do with me being super tired. Um, I actually do agree that it's probably the Manjaro. So I do agree with, I think it was Terry Sue that said that. And, you know, I just like I said, it's just asking Mitch and the question about it. And when he said his answer, it made me a little nervous. It made me very nervous. But if it gets my sugars lower and helps me in the end, um, I you know I'm going to keep on going with it. It's just when I find things out, um, I just get very, very anxious and very nervous, especially when my sugars are going up so high. My sugars are now in the morning when I wake up, they're about like 190. The other day they were like 205. So, um, you know, just, I've been trying to get them lower and I was succeeding and then all of a sudden, but you know how it is. Um, yeah, I don't think he's really going to change his mind about, hey, retired Rick, how you doing? Um, I don't know if he's going to really change his mind because I mean that's probably just his opinion. I think he might change the mind of the concept of um, just be a little leery, because the like I said, if he knew who recommended it, I mean, I don't hold fault with anybody that recommended it because I think it is a good idea for a certain concept, but oh, you got it back five. That's where I'm trying to go to, Lewis. 5.4. That's amazing. Um, oh my god. But wasn't it lower before than 5 for you, or no? I mean, that's my ultimate goal is 5.4. We all know that. I mean, that's whoa. That is. I mean, I wish I had a soundtrack. Do I? Do I have a soundtrack? I do, but is there anything? Ah, here's one. All right, how's that? Was that good? Yeah, that's freaking fantastic. It's not even fantastic. It's freaking fantastic. It's freaking fantastic. All right, so we got three more comments. So you went up one. You went up 1 point. So, but you're still not that. You're still not even pre-diabetic. So that's good. Well, I mean, you have I mean, okay. So let me ask you a question, Lewis. How long? Remind me. How long were you online diet and doing no coffee? And if it's less than 3 months of the indication of A1C, then do you think that maybe if you actually did a full 3 months and did it again from where you're at now, from this baseline, do you think that that might make a difference? Okay, so do you think that maybe if you do another 3 months, this time a full 3 months, that could be an indication that that 1 month that you didn't do this, that maybe that made a difference with that. I mean, I know it's a crazy question, but it's just something that makes me wonder because that's sort of like what made me wonder throughout my whole, like I'd be like, and I'd be like, oh, let me test it out. Like I'm going to be doing this for the next 3 months and everything, and like that's pretty much the test that they give us. And retired Rick doesn't really think that coffee affects your A1C either way. So, I mean, I know you do think that the coffee is effective, um, because of the caffeine and that it raises the cortisol. So, thank you, Terry Sue. I appreciate the gesture. So yeah, whenever I mean, and you were testing it with the CGM, so you did see that the coffee was raising your blood sugar. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. But it's that Terry Sue says coffee makes me jitter during the third cup, so I generally only drink 2 cups. I know that wasn't meant to be a joke. It's just, yeah, 30 cups of coffee, and I'm not sure what this is. My HSCRP also went back up to 4.0. Sign, but your fasting insulin was 3.8. All right. See, lucky for I mean, not lucky for me. I didn't really get much of a test with this with my blood work. I got the A1C and then some cholesterol testing, but it wasn't really that big. But this particular doctor is giving me a full panel this next time around in October. So we'll get a little bit more answers, and I'm getting a fasting insulin and getting all that fun stuff. So, I'm not really sure what an HSCRP is. If you could elaborate on that a little bit more, Lewis, that'd be great. Um, and retired Rick says he checked his several times and never messed his up. So I mean, it affects everybody differently. And here's a good difference. Do you do something when you have your coffee? Do you do anything with it that makes it different? And Rick, how do you do your coffee? Maybe there's a difference in how, you know. I am type 2, Amber. And CB is on infantilism. I read coffee affects your adrenals, and adrenals is where cortisol is made. So it's just a thought, makes sense, but don't misinterpret me as make a conviction. Yeah, no, I mean, and Lewis is going a little bit more. HSCRP stands for high sensitivity C reactive protein. It is a blood test that measures very low levels of C-reactive proteins. So it does the proteins, okay, which is a marker of inflammation in the body. Oh, okay. So that went up. So do you know what could have caused it to go up? And do you remember where it was? Like how much did it go up? No, and I think if you feel, the coffee was in effect, and the thing is your thing. I don't, but don't forget. I mean, okay, so going with what we're saying, you did 2 months without coffee, right? And on the line diet, that one whole month, could that have made a difference of the coffee that you were drinking for that 1 month? So if you did no coffee for 3 months, could that make a difference? Okay, so it was under under one is ideal. Your lowest so far though has been 2.8, and my highest. So even at 2.8, it wasn't ideal. It's pretty much what you're saying. Um, Highest was at the beginning, over 40. Okay. And when you say you drank too much coffee, how many cups a day would you drink, Lewis? So retire Rick, you did switch to decaf. So okay. 8 to 10 cups a day. Whoa. The only person I've ever seen do more than that was an old boss I used to have, and he used to work like, he was a policeman slash recycling informant. And CB is saying, Lewis, lay off the HSCRP protein powder joke. I think if you just like lowered to just no more than 1 cup, I think you would be like 1, 2 cups at the most. I think you'd be okay. I mean, I was drinking like I thought I was drinking a lot. I was drinking about 4 cups a day, but I've lowered to about two, sometimes three, but mostly two. I have to concur. I have to agree with that, Terry Sue. Um, what Terry Sue says here is coffee is a physical addiction. Needing that cup in your hand, or when you go on break or something, whether you want it or not. I agree with that. And I'll tell you why I agree with that. I actually have tested and was pretty successful for about a couple weeks. Not when I was carnivore, but before that. I actually stopped drinking coffee, and I actually did hot water. No tea, no coffee. I would just make hot water, and I put it in my mug, and I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar when I was still, and it helped a lot. You know, and yeah, I mean, you know, I agree. I agree with what you're saying there, Terry. So, um, so maybe just do, if it helps anybody that wants to get rid of it, and Lewis, I agree with you that, yeah, I mean, I think it's all good. There's a lot of things I'm better off just not doing, and okay. I don't remember. I know my HDL was like 117 or something like that. So you're a lot higher than I am, Lewis. But you've been doing, you know. Well, thank you, Amber, for coming on. I mean, for joining the chats. I do appreciate that. It's always good to see you. Oh, you forgot to put in the triglycerides in there, or am I misreading? All right, so let me put this in the chat, and I'm assuming this is, unless you just typed it twice, maybe you checked it twice. Total 176, HDL 51, triglycerides 77, and LDLs at 108. Okay. Um, I'm not really a scientist, or Dr. Avelia, but yeah, I mean, they don't sound like, they're bad. I mean, yeah, I really don't know. I mean, the only thing I know is one type of doctor looks at one thing, and the other type of doctor looks at another thing. So, yeah. Are you there? So you were expecting them to be a lot higher? Drinking 2 pots of coffee, and that's the minimum, like what, four cups per pot. So it's like eight. Yeah, that's true. What? Why do you think that you needed more coffee there, Amy? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, that's actually a good person to go to, um, Lewis, definitely. And Terry Sue, before your thing, just got notification for another channel I watch titled "What Happens When You Stop Taking Creatine?" Crap. I hope it's not something crappy. Okay. Yeah. And CV says this thing before Terry Sue. Yeah, I was shocked at my lipid panel reading. I was preparing to be argumentative with them, but ate my thoughts after I saw my numbers. LOL. Yeah. Um, yeah, I was actually, when I went to my doctor, I was worried that they were going to try to push, because of the last doctor. They were going to like try to push the statins on me like crazy, but they she wasn't. I told her, I was able to reveal the diet I'm on, and she was actually a lot more understanding. I don't know if she's really for the diet, but she agreed to hold off on the statins, hold off on it. I get that, but to see what my numbers are in 3 months and see where I'm at. So CB is, he just posted that his cholesterol is 71, HDL 84, LDL 69, trigs 88, and BMI is 24. So again, I wouldn't really know what the numbers indicate, but if you can, just like Lewis, Coach Lisa Pickard is probably one of the best people that know numbers really well, and she's a good person to talk to about it. Um, Now, one of the things, you know, like, and I'll reveal, you know, all the recommendations I've gotten, I've been doing with Dr. Nelson. So, he saw my panels and everything like that, and told me, um, like pretty much what tests to do and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, I don't know why I can't get my sugars to go down. I, um, I'm trying to. It's very, very frustrating. I'm just trying to get my numbers down, and I'm trying to get to that 5.4, you know, indication, and um, so I'm trying to listen, but at the same time, I get very nervous, as everybody knows, and I'm very apprehensive about a lot of things. You try to refer to your name there, Bacon Baby. You should try it with some bacon grease. It's pretty good. Thank you, Terry Sue. I appreciate that. And if that's my problem, then I might as well just give up right now because I'll never be able to get my sugars down. Well, that test will be done. It's one of the tests that's going to be done. It's my C peptide. So now, yesterday, my sugars actually dropped pretty low, and I figured it was because of how much insulin I was had injected right before that. I did about 14 units. I went back to the 14 units that was on there, and I did it when it was at about 150. So it went pretty fast. But today, I still did the 14 units, but like I didn't do it until it was a little bit higher of a sugar level. So I'm not sure what level the sugars need to be at before I even consider taking insulin, and how much insulin should I be. For the longest time I was able to take like nothing, like only like 7 units, and I was able to do it at a level of like 150, 160, and lately it's been, past few days, it's been going over almost over 200, and it's taking, even with the insulin, it's just it's just taking longer to go down. All right, so let's see what CB's. Um, my theory is, in the beginning of carnivore, I had a lot more body fat to burn through. My lipids were sky high, but now my body holds into onto my fat, and the lipids are low due to using more of what I eat. Okay, that makes sense. And Terry Sue. Um, Husband is up and glaring at me as I glare at the monitor. Guess I better go and do my chores. Have a good day, everyone. I'll keep listening. No dead air, Thomas. I'll try my best, Terry said. My best. Oh my god. No, I don't know. So, so you're parked and you're ready for work. Okay, Mika. Have a good day at work. Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to have fun at work unless you're doing something you really like. Oh, excuse me. Something got my roommate humorously just start laughing. Well, I'm gonna hold off for just a couple more minutes. See if anybody wants to come on. Um, but something tells me no. So um, I will wait a couple minutes, and then I'm going to pretty much end the chat from there. Mm. What? How can I? All right. So CB is telling everybody to call him gullible, but my eye allergies caused me to try a wild Dr. Berg protocol, prednisone alternative, and my eyes are much better. LOL. Okay, that's good. I mean, if it works, then great, right? I see. It's now at 141. Um, so my question is this. Okay, so I took some insulin, 14 units earlier today around 5 a.m. Um, and that's when it was about 180 something. Now it's at 141. It's going down, but very, very slowly. It is 1 o'clock now. Um, I'm going to ask your opinion. Do you think do you think that I should what number do you think my threshold should be that I actually even look at taking insulin? And do you think that I should stick to the amount that they want me to do with the 14 units? I mean, could that be part of the problem? That maybe I stop doing the insulin too. I lower down and cut my insulin too quickly. I'm very interested to know what your thoughts are because, like I said, my goal is to get my A1C down. And yes, do I want to get rid of insulin? I'd love to get rid of insulin. I'd love to get rid of all this stuff. But, and these are just opinions, but I, it's causing me a lot of anxiety. So, okay, I appreciate that, Smoothie. I mean, if no one can give me an answer, that's fine. The hell with it. But, you know, I just, you know what? Never mind. Okay. All right. Well, um, thank you. Um, I I've been on here for too long, so I'm gonna get going. All right. You all know my ending thing, so I'm going to um, end it here. Thank you, everybody. I will. I'll try to come on in a day or a couple days, but I'm definitely not coming on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Rick's day, so um, to either Sunday or Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday is with Adam, Carnivore Today. So everybody have a good day, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye bye.